time, Sean Porter. Sean, it's a big welterweight fight. We couldn't do it right here.
Absolutely not. And I'm happy to be here in Dallas with all these fans for the first time in a long time. Happy to be here. It's perfect. These guys, they need this moment right now.
It feels like a blessing, doesn't it, to be back with a crowd? Real live noises, real live crowd.
It's a big night.
I was kind of
It's going to be crazy.
Hat to go with your 10-gallon tie.
What? No. Listen, this is what the guys need. They need some great energy tonight, and the fans are going to be here to give it to them.
Sure, I can tell you why Sean is the best person to have with us here tonight. He knows these two
men about to be lit tonight. It's going to be crazy.
In the past 2
Biggest fight of the whole year.
That was when Sean and
Danny Garcia
battled it out in a nip and tuck
Errol
affair.
True Spence Jr. is going to be retarded.
Very physical indeed with Danny. Danny tried timing Sean with counters, but Sean just kept on coming. It's what you do, isn't it, Sean? Relentless effort from Sean Porter, and he came away in the end with a unanimous decision win and his second welterweight title. Then, September 2019, it was a rare unification fight. Sean and Errol Spence Jr. delivering one of the fights of the year. Sean pressed the action, and Errol,
I think this kid has a recipe to be one of the greatest fights of all time in welterweight history. Just because Errol coming off of his big injury with the car accident and all of that, and just coming back for his first fight, and Danny making his way back into title contention, his Hall of Fame status. This is huge.
Counterpunch, his power, beautiful. And with Errol Spence Jr., very simple. He's one of the best boxers in the world right now, all around boxers. Speed, quickness, power, agility, tenacious spirit, the whole nine. So that's what makes this fight a great fight.
Okay, well, I mean, you could say the fans didn't give you much of a chance, right, against Errol, if you remember. That became a fight of the year split decision. Do you think perhaps they're making the same mistake with Danny?
No, I mean, down here, this is Errol Spence's home, and you can expect him to come out here and feel that energy from the crowd. They're going to be all over Danny Garcia all night, and the best thing he can do is hold on to the opportunity that he has to upset Errol Spence Jr. in his backyard.
Well, you might remember Errol Spence Jr., he had to travel all the way over to England to win his first welterweight title. Tonight now marks his third defense on home soil. Dallas has certainly brought his fair share of legendary athletes, hasn't it? The unified welterweight champion now looking to add to that legacy tonight.
How does one achieve greatness? Is it as simple as just being dominant? Does it take perseverance? Does it matter where you came from? To grow up in Texas means to grow up in sports. It's inescapable. Whether it's in the city suburbs on a fishing mound or out in the country underneath the constant glow of Friday night lights, sport is the culture and identity of our state. Dallas stands unique among the Lone Star landscape. Of course, teams and champions are celebrated here, but this is not a city known for fostering athletes like some of the small Texan towns do. So when a star comes from Dallas, we take notice. Doak Walker, Tim Brown, Ernie Banks, Grant Hill, Michael Johnson. Just a few of the best homegrown athletes here in the Metroplex.
Proudly representing his home of Dallas, Texas, Errol Spence Jr.
Born in 1990 and raised in the south suburbs of DeSoto, Errol Spence Jr. has an opportunity to join that list. Not since Hall of Famer Curtis Coates, who passed away this year, has Dallas produced a unified welterweight champion. Errol already has the accolades: Golden Gloves, national championships, a trip to the Olympics, world title defenses of his own. But let's be honest, sometimes a single victory on the biggest stage can be more than an impressive resume. And a victory in front of family and friends means that much more. Tonight, in Dallas, is where another homegrown southpaw builds on a lasting legacy.
Big thank you to World Series champ, future Hall of Famer, and Dallas native Clayton Kershaw. Clayton and his foundation, Kershaw's Challenge. They really do incredible work here in his Dallas hometown, in LA as well, and abroad, including refurbishing athletic fields in South Dallas. For more info, you can check out KershawsChallenge.com. Big thank you to him. Listen, if you look at Danny Garcia's resume, it stacks up very well indeed against the very best in boxing, but the two-division former world champ does feel like he is still constantly proving himself.
I was always overlooked in my career, even coming up. When I felt like I should have got Prospect of the Year, I never got it. You know, when I felt like I should have got Fighter of the Year, I never got it. In this game, people go write what they want to write, they can say what they want to say, but at the end of the day, you have to fight. I'm here because I can fight. Errol Spence is not the truth. He's a lie. Danny Garcia is the truth. Coming back from what's his.
Those are fighting words. Danny is the underdog
Whoa.
yet again coming into this one.
Does he really believe that?
Is the minus 400
You really believe that? And you the truth and Errol the truth, Spence Jr. is not the truth? Is Danny Garcia? I don't believe he really believes that in his brain. My man talking kind of crazy right there. I rock with Danny Garcia. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't even finna hold you, but I don't know. Right there sound kind of.
You can still get your votes in. Make sure you do that. We actually have a tweet from Chad Ochocinco saying Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia tonight is going to be a good one. Chad, I can tell you what, we agree with you. We think it's going to be a brilliant fight. That is absolutely right. I mean, this has all the makings of such a good fight on paper, and then you add in this kind of added layer of Errol Spence Jr. coming back from his accident and all those question marks that people have from the outside looking in. Where is he? Where is he physically? Where is he mentally, psychologically?
Right. I mean, that's the biggest question that I have, and I've said it time and time again. I'm waiting on the first round. I'll see everything I need to see after the first round. I'm going to see how comfortable he is in the ring. Now I'm going to see if he's ready with a good game plan against Danny Garcia. You got a game plan against Danny Garcia because he's the kind of guy, like you said, I've been overlooked. Something you overlook with Danny is his power and his ability to time you. And so right now, that's the big question that everybody's wondering, and it's going to be answered in the first round.
Okay, but we're just getting started for you this evening. We really do have an action-packed night ahead of us. You're going to be in great company as well. With you ringside tonight, Brian Kenny, former lineal and undisputed champion Lennox Lewis, and the esteemed trainer Joe Goosen as well. Looking very slick, boys, this evening.
Thank you very much, Matter, Lennox. Thank you. Lennox helping me out.
Yeah.
Lennox Lewis.
How good. Glad to have Joe Goosen back with us. He was
Last
the undercard.
undisputed
in the
heavyweight
corner.
champion.
Vito got a decision win. You clean up nice. Joe, good work.
Well, I didn't get too much of a sweat going there, so it wasn't one of those type of fights.
Good to have you
Thank
back
you.
here. It's good. Thank you for hooking me up here. And even around the plexiglass, Lennox is able to. I think we want to get the plexiglass between you and me. That'd be better.
At any time, not just
Yeah, exactly. But from now going forward, when the pandemic is over, something Sean said there I think is important, Lennox, as we get to the main event, is that they can say everything went well in sparring, that Errol Spence came through that car crash and everything is good. But how will it be? What are you looking for early as far as how he responds in that first round once he's hit with something world class? And Danny Garcia can hit you world class.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to prove himself to the world. Everybody's saying, that they're concerned about how he's going to look, what he's going to look like. But I'm sure he's not going to take a fight against Danny Garcia unless he was ready. I feel he's ready. He wants to prove himself. He wants to show the world that he's back. So he's going to go out there and box like the old Errol. Maybe a bit tentative, but he's going to come out there strong.
And if Errol is 100% Joe, can that guy win a fight against him fighting his normal fight? Because normally he's a conservative counterpuncher. He's outstanding, obviously world-class, top 5 welterweight in the world, former junior welterweight champion of the world. But Errol Spence is a different puzzle altogether.
He is. No, when Errol Spence is on at 100%, he is hard to beat, if not nearly impossible to beat. Because he does everything so well. He can pressure, he can box, he hits hard, he throws a lot of punches, great body work. I mean, he does it all. And Danny Garcia is going to have to be at his very best. I don't know if it's a 4-1, favorite, but I think Danny's going to be in this fight too.
Yeah,
Errol Spence, just getting back to Lennox's point about not taking a tuna fight, he said he would be a little concerned that he wouldn't get up for it as much, and that this type of fight was better for him because he'd get up 120% for this, and he will be. Look, I think you're going to see both guys at their very best tonight. That's why it's going to be a great fight.
That should be
Really
outstanding.
is.
Yeah, no, I agree. It should be outstanding. I'm surprised by how wide it is, too. Even though I would think that Spence should be the favorite, but not as big as everything
Here we
has
go.
been so far as the betting odds. Getting ready to go here at our pay-per-view events here in Arlington, Texas. Eduardo Ramirez jumping into the ring, age 27, off a career-defining fight. And Miguel Flores coming in against Leo Santa Cruz. Eduardo Ramirez off a win, a knockout win.
Eduardo Ramirez.
That is coming up next here as we open things up at Cowboys, the head lobe of the Cowboys. Lennox is throwing things at me now. Miguel Flores and Eduardo Ramirez, the tail of the tape. Both are in their prime, 27 and 28. Flores slightly taller, and Ramirez with a slight reach advantage. This should be an evenly matched fight and a good way to open things up. Let's go to the ring for the official introductions and Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the spectacular AT&T Stadium here in Arlington, Texas, as Premier Boxing Champions presents a big night of action coming your way. It's Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view, promoted by TGB Promotions, and brought to you by Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey, the finest, the tastiest, the smoothest liquid gold in the world. And O'Reilly Auto Parts. Order your parts on O'ReillyAuto.com and get free curbside pickup. And we extend a special welcome to the brave men and women serving around the world and joining us tonight on AFN, the American Forces Network. Well, fans, this bout of the ring is presented in association with Samson Boxing. It is sanctioned by the WBA, the president, Gilberto Jesus Mendoza. Our judges scoring from ringside, Tom Carasone, Jesse Reyes, and Kevin Scott. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for a WBA featherweight world title eliminator. Introducing to you first on my left, he is fighting out of the red corner. Wearing black trunks trimmed to the colors of the Mexican flag, he is fighting out of Houston by way of Morelia, Michoacan, Mexico. He weighed in at 125.5 pounds with a record of 24 wins, 3 losses. He has 12 wins coming by way of knockout, known as El Michoacano, introducing Miguel Flores. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with silver trim, hailing from the hotbed boxing city of Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico. He weighed in at 125.25 pounds. His record, 23 wins, 2 losses, and 3 draws, with 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the Southpaw World Rank contender, introducing Eduardo Zurdito Ramirez. And a third man to the ring, the referee now to give instructions, Lawrence Cole.
All right, gentlemen, I gave you instructions earlier in the dressing room. Obey my commands. Protect yourselves at all times. Y bueno, suerte. Suerte.
This could be an outstanding fight. Eduardo Ramirez coming off that 4th round TKO over Ledwan Bartolome. Miguel Flores, Joe, I thought made an outstanding effort against Leo Santa Cruz. He just couldn't beat a guy who was, a great world champion.
You're right. No, Santa Cruz just looked really unbeatable that night. And Flores did throw a lot of punches. He tried his best, and it went the distance. But, Santa Cruz just proved to be too much. But he is a good fighter. So I think you're going to see something from him tonight, especially against Ramirez.
And these two guys against each other. Lennox, these are 2 guys who've given
Flores
an
got on
honest
the
effort.
green.
And they're
Ramirez got on
consistent and they're
silver and
aggressive.
black.
Listen, in this fight, you're going to see a lot of leather thrown.
Yep.
A lot of punches thrown, a lot of combinations. This is what I look by these guys.
It is scheduled for 12. It's a title eliminator at featherweight, so there is something at stake here. Flores, by the way, this was, again, moved up on the card because of the different machinations, but he gets a chance now to stay in title contention and runs into another motivated featherweight.
Just feeling each other out.
That's the thing. Ramirez,
Some leather flying, but they're just feeling each other out right now.
It looked like, okay, this guy's going to do a nice
Ramirez
job of lose,
letting
and
them
he
things
would
go a
not
little
stop
bit more.
punching, and eventually stopped the Cuban star.
Yeah, well, they had a draw in their first outing, right? And I think Ramirez went to school on that and said, I got this guy figured out, and he went right after him, and it was a blowout
right
against
to the
the
temple.
We had that on
Ramirez
our air. This is
landed.
round number 1, and it is not tentative. Okay, but both guys, they box smart. It's not like they're going to come in brawling, but they are just consistent. They're aggressive. They're always in top shape, and this should be exciting.
I have a feeling they're going to end up brawling sooner or later. This is a feel like around here. Neither guy has a lot of knockouts.
Ramirez
They've only got about
topped
10,
into the body.
knockouts
That was good. Good combination.
And Flores 12. But they certainly punch like they're heavier handed than they show to be on the record.
Oh, nice uppercut, Ramirez.
Leveraged shots. You can see Flores jumps in with
Flores
the jab.
comes back with the jab and straight right.
Body very well.
Yeah, I find Flores
Ramirez is throwing bombs right now.
because
He's throwing heavy,
nice and high.
heavy hitter.
Doesn't want to get hit with no silly shots, so that's wise to keep your hands up, especially in these first round.
You can see the concentration on Eduardo Ramirez's face.
Oh, Ramirez with a strong right
That's the
hook.
thing, those hooks, instead of when you're fighting a right-hander, they come from the opposite side.
Damn, that shit was no joke right there.
And you got to make sure that you keep that left hand up if you're a right-handed fighter, because that's where that hook sneaks in a lot. That's what Spence does a lot, by the way. We're going to see that in the big fight tonight.
Errol Spence has that. He has that
Straight
straight
jab.
left hand, and he has that
Oh,
overhand
big left.
hand. There's an overhand left from Ramirez.
Yeah,
Ramirez is landing big shots.
like a baseball shot, pitcher shot. I love those punches, by the way.
You throw
Flores
those
with a
straight
soft
hands,
right.
like you're
Flores
positioning
coming
shot
back on the
straight right.
attack.
Yeah, and then later in my career, it
Nothing
started to
landed.
go around a little bit.
Nothing hard.
Get what I could
Ooh,
throw.
big body shot left.
Hard body shot
Right
there
to the
by
solar
Ramirez.
flex.
Well, you see punches landed. It's only 8-7. Seems like Ramirez getting the better of it, but not by an awful lot. And this
Yeah.
is going to be competitive. Good
Missing
body
hitting
work.
air.
Head movement
Flores
by
ain't
Flores.
hitting nothing.
Well, you can tell Flores is going to put the pressure on tonight.
Ramirez.
Good opening round, and this is what
That
we
was-
expect all night.
That was looking real good.
Así te quiero, ¿eh? Cero conformismo, nomás sigue haciendo así la pelea.
Excellent round. That's what I want.
¿Cómo sientes?
How are you feeling?
Estás peleando como maestro, cabrón, y apenas vamos empezando, güey.
Nice and
Siempre
breathing,
más
no
pasa el tiempo,
problem.
mejor.
This is what I want from
Cero
you.
conformismo, nomás, cabrón.
Don't get too comfortable. That's the only thing I don't want. This guy can still be tricky.
And
then you keep going. You have that opening, you go for it. Just breathe nice and let's go for the second round. You're a great fighter. Let's go.
Como maestro, cero que no le deje crecer nomás.
Do not let him get big on this fight.
There's that hook you were talking about, Brian, right there, right on top of the head, too.
And that's what's impressive about Ramirez and what he did, Joe, I guess we get to round number 2 against Bartolome, was he finishes his combinations with
Ramirez
something
coming
quick
out
and
aggressive.
vicious.
No, you're right. But see, Ramirez had a pretty good first round boxing, but you look, he's
Flores
turned
trying to
right
play
now.
on the
He's coming
outside.
forward this round as opposed to boxing, where he had a pretty successful round.
Flores going to the
Landed in
body.
First round 10-7, so it's close. It's expected to be close. It appeared Ramirez got the better of that. You like to score these fights.
One heavy
Have an idea?
One heavy shot.
Ooh, nice combination from Ramirez. Oh, he's all over him. Oh, he might knock him out early. Oh, he smells blood. He's swinging for the fences. Oh, he's trying to kill him.
Yeah, Joe, one punch.
Oh, big hook. Huge hook. Landed.
Yes, and
Flores hits his gloves like, come on, let's go. He acting like he ready to go.
you can touch a guy a lot in the
Flores is trying to throw some heat, but it's not landing. Nothing's landing. Nothing. Ramirez, is he tired? He's just backpedaling.
To move forward because he's Miguel Flores.
Maybe he burned out from throwing all them heavy hitters early. But Ramirez was landing big shots early on in the round. Now he's just looks like he's trying to catch his breath in the middle of the round. Now he's coming back. Left hook, cross right. Flores lands with a hook.
Yeah, Flores just landed a nice left hook.
Ooh, nice straight left by Ramirez.
Very clean, very sharp. Ramirez is throwing a lot of punches these first couple of rounds.
I thought Ramirez looks fantastic.
Flores is trying to make it dirty a little bit in here.
I do.
Ooh, Ramirez, nice combo on the inside.
Flores right back at it. That was a hard right to the body.
Hard
That's why I said
right to
earlier,
the
this is
body.
gonna turn into
Ooh,
a
big
brawl,
hook to the right.
Don't let that first round
Right
go.
hook lands.
Fight of the night. Look, obviously you have Spence and Garcia. It's the main event. And anytime you have Josecito Lopez against anybody, even if he's fighting somebody in the parking lot, that would be the fight of the night. But
low
this
blow
might be
almost.
the best action fight of the night.
Yeah, I saw him in the parking lot earlier.
Flores tries to throw on the break. Ooh, Ramirez is throwing heat again. Lands a couple.
Lopez has looked great in his last few fights. He's a 36-year-old guy, but you saw him against John Molina last time out. And he looked great.
My former fighter, John Molina, who tried his best right there, but that was his last effort.
Ooh, big counter
He
left
had against Keith Thurman.
by Ramirez.
Thurman, rocked
Big
and
right hook
rolled.
by Ramirez.
And
Lands.
people don't do
Missed
that
the
to him.
uppercut.
Pacquiao put him down once, but
Two
Lopez
jabs.
had him all but out. Final seconds here, round number 2. Eduardo
Oh,
Rodriguez
big
played
hook.
beautifully here in the second
Nice
round.
jab
Go back to the
lands.
corner against Felix
Ramirez is going to work.
doing our translating. And we're gonna see a
Putting
lot of
together a
action.
masterpiece.
Yeah, you gotta stay low. Hey, big deep breaths, huh? All right, listen, we gotta go in a little bit. Now look, one thing, when you're coming to him, you gotta feint first. You see when you're coming to him fainting, working real good. You can't walk to him without the feint, okay? He's gonna pull back to those ropes, but give him that hard feint on the way in and then shoot him. Shoot it a little bit lower, okay? When you're shooting that right hand, shoot it right in here, okay? But yeah, make sure you're using those feints every time when you're coming to him. Feint him first, baby. All right? That's it. This round, they got
Eduardo Ramirez is consistent. He's aggressive. Lennox, he has a creative attack as well.
He does. He's actually shooting some angles when he's coming in there. Good angle punch, uppercut, right uppercut, and he steps to the side, and he's ready to throw another combination. But Flores wasn't there for it.
That was we were talking about Leo Santa Cruz.
Here goes Eduardo Ramirez. Let's see what he's going to do this round.
We've seen some epic fights here in the last few months. Santa Cruz, long been one of our favorites. Hope to see him back in the ring as well. But that was a signature knockout win by Davis, and a beautiful uppercut there by Eduardo Ramirez.
Ooh, Miguel Flores with a big right. Lands it right on the forehead. Ooh, both jabs exchanged.
Yeah.
Really up the ante there and put his foot on the gas in the second round.
Flores
Gone
is
back to
throwing
boxing a
more.
little bit this round. He's luring Flores in.
Joe, you know what I mean when I said and I think this is important, he seems to be peaking. You know, like when a fighter just looks
Flores
like
lands
he
a
has
overhand
just
right.
put everything together. He's still young,
Jab.
strong, and just
Flores is
like
landing the
his
jab.
fighting spirit
Ooh,
is
left and a right combination from Flores. Flores is coming back this round, round 3. Oh, Ramirez comes with a straight right, going to the body, exchanging body blows,
Ramirez had a big
hugging.
shot when we went to England. He challenged
Ramirez misses the uppercut.
and lost the unanimous decision.
Low blow.
Warning there from Lawrence Cole, but Ramirez just looks like a much better fighter
He
than
touched
he was
gloves.
several years ago.
Ramirez immediately fires off a right hook. Ooh, straight right down the pipe by Flores. Ooh, Ramirez responds. Combination. Misses a straight right. Ramirez with a jab. Oh, Ramirez. Oh, Ramirez with an uppercut. Sneaky one. Snuck one in.
He could have succumbed to the clinch there, Joe, and he did not.
No, and look, I mean,
Flores
his
throws back,
intentions
nothing
really are
lands.
always throw punches.
Ramirez is coming in. Flores overhand right. Ramirez ducks under it.
Ramirez coming straight up the middle there with the left hand. Final minute of round number 3.
Flores throws, nothing lands.
On our pay-per-view, leading up to Errol
Flores
Spence
lands a jab.
So exciting to see him back in the ring. To see him 100% healthy. He better
Flores
be
fighting off the
against Danny
ropes.
Garcia. Big fight tonight for the welterweight championship of the world.
Oh, okay, Ramirez.
There by Ramirez.
Counter. Oh, Ramirez with the cross right.
Every punch with a lot of steam on it. There's really nothing. There's no such thing as a soft.
29 seconds to go on the round. We in the third
I'll tell you
round.
what, one thing Ramirez does is he's got
Pay-per-view, we live right now.
He seems like he's there, and then all of a sudden he's not there. So he's got good, quick movement with his feet.
And it was Aaron Navarro, Lennox, as you pointed out, that was telling Flores to feint.
Ooh,
And
Flores
Ramirez
with a
just
strong
feints,
left body
feints.
hook.
I mean, he's throwing everything.
Goes for it
Good
again,
body shot
but he
by
misses
Flores
it.
as he jumped in.
Ooh, Ramirez with the counter left.
That's the end end of the round, things slowed up just a little bit. Let's go to a corner, and Jordan Plant is standing by. Jordan?
Yeah, thanks, Brian. I had the chance to speak with Danny and Errol in the locker rooms just a moment ago, and both guys have a quiet storm energy about them. I asked Errol, what is going through your mind? What are you telling yourself as you're getting ready to enter the ring? He said, I'm excited to have a comeback fight in front of my hometown, but I'm telling myself to stay calm, stay focused, and stick to the game plan that we've been working on for the past 10 weeks. Now, when I went to Danny's locker room, he said something earlier this week that stood out to me. He said that he's going to take smart risks. And I said, what do you mean by taking smart risks? And he said, this is high-level boxing. You got to be smart. And I said, well,
more videos coming, more live streams.
You're going to be setting up
Danny Garcia versus Errol the True Spence Jr.
Without giving too much away, yeah. In big fights, you got to take it up a level. And you guys know, I think he's saying that because he already missed his first opportunity at becoming a welterweight unified world champion. And he knows that if he wants to win tonight, he's got to do more than he did
round
last
4,
time,
Ramirez versus Flores.
Sure, thank you. Look,
Ramirez
you're absolutely right. Danny Garcia
caught with
is
the jab.
conservative, methodical, got a high boxing
Flores.
IQ. He's very tough, but he is not a volume puncher. He's not a fighter whose natural identity is of an attacker.
Flores, big right
When you
hand.
think of like Porter, Keith Thurman, Pacquiao, those guys attack. And that's not Danny Garcia. Lennox, we were talking about this earlier.
Miguel Flores down to the
I
body.
think Danny Garcia at some point is going
Body
to have
combination and
to,
up high.
find another
Sneaky
gear
uppercut
to either
lands.
win rounds or find a way to hurt Errol Spence and actually come away with a win.
I agree with that. I mean, he will do that. He has to do that.
Both
And,
guys hitting behind the head.
Every other boxer would
Referee
tell him
stops
to do
and
that.
warns.
His trainer would tell him to do it. He will know to do that. So we just have to watch and see when he's going
Flores
to
ducking, bobbing, and
Will he do
weaving
it?
underneath punches. Flores.
Everybody's telling him.
I
He knows he
believe
has to. But will he?
I believe he will do it.
And then, Joe, the next question is, but then
Ramirez
can you do it
with
and
the
then
jab.
suddenly you're faced with Errol Spence, where every time you do that,
Flores
you have a jab in
answers
your
to the
face.
body.
And not just the jab. I mean, there's more to the Errol Spence
Ramirez
jab, obviously. You know
misses
that.
the hook.
I talked to Danny's dad.
They're in the clinch.
Angel, and we talked about his last fight with Ivan Redcast, okay? And there was plenty of opportunity for Danny, I think, to take
Nice
Redcast
dirty
out.
inside boxing. Ooh,
And he kinda let back, and
uppercuts
that
landing on both
the
sides.
opportunity that we're talking about,
Straight
when we
right,
take those opportunities
the
to
exchange.
put pressure on when the opportunity
Big
presents
exchange
itself.
going
And he
on.
said they really want to work on that
Fighting,
this
trying
game.
to
So let's see
destroy
if
each
he
other
takes
right here.
advantage of those types of things. instead of
Ooh,
laying
to the
back.
body up top. Ramirez. Ramirez is going off. Get out of the corner. Flores, get out of the corner.
At this distance, at this rate, we will be thrilled. Look at
Ooh,
these guys go.
uppercut
Ramirez.
landing by Ramirez.
Constant shots.
Ooh,
Flores
Ramirez
fires
is
a body
landing
shot back
bomb.
to the head.
Yeah, Flores
This
has
is
been
a
landing
volume of
shots as
strikes.
we're chatting away here. And he
Ramirez
really
has
at the end of the last
57
fight,
landed.
good
Flores
run
has
against the body
36
shot. So,
landed.
you know, Flores is working his way back. into the
Ooh,
fight.
big
But-
left
but
hand
Ramirez
landed
is
by
really
Ramirez.
sharp, isn't he? I mean, it looks like he sees a lot out there right now.
Yeah, again, he's at a career high right now, but obviously being tested.
What Ramirez is relaxed. That's the problem. He's nice and relaxed. He's moving. He's throwing relaxed punches, and he doesn't look too stiff in them.
Good combinations by Ramirez as he goes to
Big
the body
exchange
and then
going down.
Flores peppers him with a double jab, really just as a blinder, and able to land harder shots after the jab.
Yeah, he's out punching Flores, 6-1, and as you look at it, it just looks like he's way ahead on the scoring and the volume of punches he's throwing.
Yeah, that's because he's at good distance. He knows his reach, and that's what he's using. He's using his reach.
You're right, and Flores keeps those hands back next to his face, and I tell you the truth, it's a little bit of a disadvantage for him right now because he's not getting the shots off from there. By the time he throws, it's too late.
Hey, I agree with you on that.
Remember, he ain't never had it once you get close.
Just take your win and you walk away.
And a good old fashioned slugfest right now. Sluggaroo.
You can already see him breathing different, right? So, hey, stay with that good solid body work. You're getting close, but stay tight until you're getting close, okay? Stay nice and tight when you're getting close. You still got a feint or jab on the way in. Stay tight, but once you get close, then you can get him in here, okay? Stay with that body work, baby. It's starting to get to him.
All right, well, let's take a look at this right here. Boy, Ramirez landed a nice stiff jab before, Flores got that right hand off. And here's Ramirez going to the body and just touches it to open up the middle. See, and he came right up the middle from that. That's a good little trick right there. Here's Ramirez landing the left hook. And then before he got the hook on the head, he's already throwing that left hand.
How fast was that, Joe? It's amazing. Yeah, the punch is already coming.
Oh,
jeez! Wow! Big shot. And Flores is down.
Great counter
6,
shot off the right hand.
7,
Big
8.
right hook.
Okay, turn around, come to me.
He's done.
And blood is flowing. It's over. And that's it. What a win for Eduardo Ramirez. Eduardo Ramirez exulted there in victory. Flores with great sportsmanship. And Eduardo Ramirez has just been fantastic, and he was tremendous here tonight. Gets a knockout win.
Yeah, he was fluid with that combination. Like, when you go in there relaxed like that, it comes easy. And all he did was really just throw his punches out, long range, and there was a lot of steam behind it. And it was really not about power, it was about quickness.
You're right, Lennox. And I got to tell you, it was a
This fight's over? I missed it?
Okay.
I just went to go get a couple chicken wings and the shit's over.
You cannot have that left hand down against a southpaw, because that right hook is what really does you in a lot of times. It's the one you don't see.
Ramirez won.
Again, last time out against Lidwan, Bartolome looked like he was going up against a more talented fighter, but he would not stop punching. He gets a fourth round TKO. And in this fight, he looked even better. That second round, he just looked fantastic. And he closes the show here in the fifth. Let's watch this beginning of the round in real speed again. And see how quickly this happened.
Yeah, don't take your eyes off of it, right?
Oh, shit.
Flores countered with the right hand, and then came the hook right off the right hand off of
6,
Flores.
7.
Flores threw that right hand with his left
Okay,
hand
turn
down.
around, come to me.
Yeah, it's hard to recover from a punch because that was straight on the chin. And that's a punch he wasn't expecting and didn't see.
And let's give credit to Lawrence Cole, the referee. That was really a great stoppage.
When you see a man wobbling around like that, yeah, you can't. Maybe you could ask him to take a step toward me, but he wasn't going anywhere.
No, exactly. I think we all kind of, when we saw that, it looked like it was over right when he got up.
Well, he came out from the corner at the very start. He seemed to hesitate to get a little distance.
There's the touch, there's the counter, and there's the counter off the counter. And see, Flores had that left hand down and away as he countered the left hand of Ramirez's with his right hand. He had his left hand down.
Most guys, when they fall down down badly. Yeah, and he kind of fell down with his leg a little under.
Oh yeah, you can actually I've seen the guy break his leg going.
Yeah, he might feel it a little bit later because that's something his leg hasn't done for a while.
Lennox, you did that to Michael Grant.
Yeah, and he hurt his leg after that. So he had, he needs.
I mean, you're basically concussed in the air at that point because you can't get your leg back in time. Normally, right, you would be able to get your body back in a position to fall, but he was unable to do that. He's just been disconnected.
And Ramirez got everything into that punch. If you look at the replay, he's actually bent over and down. He brought all of his weight across and down on Flores, man.
Stordito is going to be a tough out for any featherweight. I tell you what.
Watch, there's the punch. Here comes the counter, and then here comes the hook.
Did
the right hand miss from Flores, and look how Ramirez is just bent over. He got everything, all his back into that punch. Man, how did Flores ever get up even from it? Even wobbly. How do you get up from that?
He's got so much heart. You're right, Joe.
Yeah,
he's got so much heart. He's going to make a professional effort every single time, and he certainly did, but he was just outgunned against Eduardo Ramirez, who has found another gear in his career.
Ramirez just keeps getting better and better every time we see him.
27 years old. There's a lot to come. He's going to get a shot at a title, you would think, soon. This was a title eliminator. That's what it is supposed to mean. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. But now, do you want to see Ramirez against the champions? Yes, you do.
Heck yeah.
Jimmy Lennon Jr. standing by. Jimmy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time at the 22nd mark of round number 5. He is the winner by way of knockout, and the winner of the WBA Featherweight World Title Eliminator, Eduardo Stordito Ramirez.
Big win for Eduardo Ramirez. who came in and we thought it should be, at least on paper, an evenly matched fight against Miguel Flores, who gave good, hard rounds to Leo Santa Cruz. But against Ramirez, he just looked even more aggressive than in his last fight against the slick Cuban Leduan Bartolome. And now he hopefully gets a shot at a belt. He's got a belt on already, but it's a title eliminator and get one of the championship belts that are out there. But Ramirez, I tell you what, he's also a fan favorite. Is that Leo right there?
Yeah.
Look at that, Leo Santa Cruz, who is a great multi-division champion. We want to see him back in the ring again. By the way, that was an exciting fight until he got starched. Obviously, Gervonta Davis put him out, but that was a great fight while it was gone.
Look, everyone in my gym, and myself included, I thought the first 5 fights, it was 3-2.
5 rounds, yeah, it's close. Yeah. That was shaping up to be a classic, and then Gervonta Davis made it a showcase, a knockout.
Oh, they don't call him Tank for nothing else.
Let me tell you, he surprised me. It was unbelievable shot. Great boxer, great tactician, and he boxed very well. Great boxer.
Leo went to the well 2 or 3 times in a row with that right hand, and Tank timed the third one.
I tell you, and Leo was the featherweight champion of the world, undisputed before he moved up in weight. Eduardo Ramirez at 126, that's featherweight. He's going to be an interesting opponent for anybody, Joe.
Ramirez?
Yeah.
Oh, you better believe it. I mean, the last 2, remember, he went the distance with Leo, okay? Ramirez. And Flores.
Right. All right, final seconds. Miguel Flores came in determined, but Eduardo Ramirez with the full arsenal. And then the big KO shot in the 5th round. Eduardo Ramirez goes to 24-2-3. Only has 11 knockouts, but looks like that percentage will just get better and better. Let's go to Kate Abdo upstairs. Kate?
Thank you very much, Brian. So then, Errol Spence Jr., unified welterweight champ of the world, looking to prove that he hasn't lost a beat. He has taken it easy in the locker room right now, building up to this huge fight this evening. He's in against one of the division's elite, Danny Garcia, 2-division champ, of course. This really is a massive unified welterweight title fight, an excellent addition to one of the sport's most storied divisions.
The golden era, boxing's renaissance. Call it what you want, but the 80s are defined by a simple fact. The best fought the best. What's old is new again. Welterweight is back as boxing's glamour division. Tonight, Errol Spence Jr. and Danny Garcia collide in a pay-per-view mega fight for welterweight supremacy. Which reminds me, let's keep it simple. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the best fighting the best.
Well, they called them the Four Kings, didn't they? Leonard Duran, Hagler, Hearns. Many of those fights, of course, taking place at 147. It's all come back around now with this current crop of talent at welterweight. Is it the best division in boxing, Sean?
It's amazing because that's where I fell in love with boxing when I saw the Fabulous Four. That's what that was once upon a time. And now there's about, 5 or 6 of us that could be champion at any time. I mean, you look right here, and three of us were former champions out of the 5 big names that you see right there. And then there's other guys like Mikey Garcia. There's Ugas who could be a champion at any given time. You know, the division is stacked. I love it, and it makes for great boxing.
Yeah, I mean, what made the era that we were talking about so great was the fact that those top guys were all brave enough to get in the ring and face each other, right? No, yeah. But how does this era compare?
And, it's starting to happen. I've been in the ring with both of these guys, Keith Thurman, Danny now with Keith and myself, and now getting in the ring with Errol. So the round robin is starting to kick off. It's going, and it should continue after this.
It's so stacked right now. It feels like fantasy boxing in the welterweight division.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantasy right now, and it's amazing that I'm living in it.
Absolutely. Amen. Well, listen, Danny Garcia, he's on the doorstep of history this evening. A win over Errol Spence Jr. would put him in esteemed company as a unified champ in 2 divisions. That would see him join names like, Evander Holyfield, Julio Cesar Chavez, Andre Ward, fellow Philly native Bernard Hopkins. It really has added motivation to a fight that Danny was already calling a must-win.
I thought
I won the fight. That was
How many else could take me out?
It's been 3 years and counting now since you've had the welterweight belt.
Tough loss for me, you know, both losses. I don't know how to feel right now.
Looking on the line, I can hear the sound.
Does it ever eat at you not being the champ? Does it bother you?
You know, I'm a fighter, that's what I do. So I still have a lot of fight left in me. No, it doesn't bother me. You know, I know I'm a true champion, and you know, it always goes around in a circle. So sometimes you gotta let other people shine, and that's just the way the game works. You know, I just gotta get back on track and get better and close out a great career. Everyone gets the opportunity, and it's my opportunity again to be champion. So I'm never punching in the air or pulling my hair out. Put it that way.
One win, and then you're unified champ. You're the man in the division. I know you've unified before, but does this feel like the defining fight for you in your career?
Yeah, definitely. This is a must-win for me. It's the opportunity for me to unify another division. It's my second chance to unify that 147-pound division, and I want to be the champion of the world again. And I can't see myself not winning.
He's a very accurate puncher that will probably regain his title soon enough.
You come into this as the betting underdog. I know that you've won big fights where you were the betting underdog before. Do you feel like the role of the underdog, though, does it serve you?
You know, when it comes to politics, sometimes I don't get the respect I deserve, but I feel like the fans love me. You know, I feel like that's the difference between a lot of fighters. You don't get the views. People don't come out and watch them. You know, if it was for the media, I probably wouldn't be here right now, but that's just the power of the fans, and that's why I'm here. I'm here by popular demand.
He's the top dog, and I want the top spot. And I'm here to say, I won next.
Is Errol Spence the man that you have to beat to finally get the respect that you deserve?
You never know. You never know what they're going to say, but at the end of the day, I'm not really worried about respect. I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about politics. My job is just to go in there, fight, and get this W.
Okay, so Danny, you're a big NFL guy. You're an Eagles guy. You're from Philly. You're always repping Philly. You've got a road game now in Dallas at Cowboy Stadium. How do you feel about that?
I feel great. You know, Eagles and Cowboys always been a big rivalry. It's my time to go out there, get this victory, this away victory, and do what I always did at the end of the game. Run to the middle of the stadium and stand on the star.
The ring actually sits over that star that Danny was talking about there. Both Errol and Danny do know what's at stake this evening. Both of them, of course, loving that added bonus of adding a chapter to what is one of the most bitter feuds in all of sports.
I support the Dallas Cowboys, you know, homegrown, and you know, there's people I've been supporting since I was a kid. That team, me as a fan, I watched my dreams come true with Eagles. I watched them win the Super Bowl. That's one of my dreams, to watch the Eagles win the Super Bowl. I'm proud to be Eagles fan. Me and Danny Garcia automatically got the rivalry attached to us, the Dallas versus the Philadelphia. I know it's a rivalry, but yeah, I really don't care. We're up anyway. We won the latest Super Bowl, so it really don't matter. You know, I think it'll make that a lot sweeter. Me beating him, Jerry Jones and the Cowboy staff would be pleased with that.
Jerry Jones and the Cowboys staff.
I mean, you're all about your
That's
Cleveland
hilarious.
Browns, right? You're living a good life right now.
Absolutely, I really am. I mean, we're sitting at 8-3 for the first time in an extremely long time, so I'm feeling good about it. And very funny to hear Danny Garcia says he want to run right there to the star and raise his hands. I want to see that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that Dallas-Philly rivalry, it definitely adds something to the fight tonight. How big is it as a fighter to get the opportunity to put on for your city?
We all want to do it. We all don't get the opportunity to, but we all want to fight at home in front of our fans, where we're comfortable, where we know everybody's pushing for us. And that's the kind of energy that Errol Spence Jr. is going to get tonight.
What about the energy that Danny Garcia can expect? And I was speaking to Errol, a couple of weeks before the fight, and asked him about, the fans and everything. And he said, Danny, he referred to the fact that he'd have about 25,000 fans. And I said, what, they all for you? None of them are coming for Danny? He said, no, Danny's mom will be here, his dad, his sisters, maybe. But seriously, what kind of fandom will he have here tonight?
If he's anything like me, he's going to want to cherish it. They're going to boo you. As soon as you walk out, deal with it. It is what it is. That's the good part about it is we're fighters. We come from that. That's where we come from. So he'll be comfortable and he'll adapt in the ring. And like he says, he's going to come in here and handle business. So he'll take care of it.
Do you not only come from that, but are there certain fighters that also thrive on that?
I'm one of those guys. I look forward to those moments to prove people wrong. And I think this is a prime opportunity, if not the biggest opportunity, for Danny Garcia.
Absolutely. And as far as Errol Spence Jr. goes, do you think that Danny is looking at him and think that this is an Errol Spence Jr. that is primed for the picking? It's a different Errol Spence Jr. potentially to the one that you stepped into the ring with, 15 months ago?
Right. I think for both guys, I think Errol is saying, this is my first fight back. I can beat this guy. He's not as good as me. And then if you're Danny Garcia, I'm assuming he's thinking this kid's still injured. I'm about to go in here and show him he's not 100%.
You're going to want to test that, right? Listen, we've got some really interesting fights for you coming up tonight. Also fighting on this card this evening, we're going for bragging rights, SoCal favorites. We've got Josecito Lopez in action for you, and he's always in a lot of action, I can tell you that. Francisco Santana is the man that he will be fighting. The winner of this one, of course, eyeing one last run at a title shot. It is a fight not to be missed.
Josecito Lopez knows a thing or two about exceeding expectations. 2012, a heavy underdog nicknamed the Riverside Rocky challenged Victor Ortiz. Ortiz accepted the challenge, knowing a win would solidify his already contracted fight against Canelo Alvarez. Then, the unthinkable. Lopez not only broke Ortiz's jaw, but also stole the Canelo fight right out from underneath. Many expected Lopez to sail off into the sunset after earning a career-high payday. Instead, he has stuck around, fought hard, and gone pound for pound with some of the sport's best.
Sweat fly, Lopez seizing the opportunity.
Fellow SoCal native Francisco Santana is also familiar with upsetting the apple cart.
You look at his record, Santana's been in with some tough stuff to gun.
Never afraid of going against the grain. Known for pushing guys to the limit. Santana comes forward with power and determination, as this represents his last chance to break into the top 10 at 147 pounds. This welterweight battle has fireworks written all over it. In boxing, nothing is guaranteed, but it is guaranteed that Josecito Lopez and Francisco Santana will put it all on the line.
Well, this should be excellent back here, AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas. Back here ringside, Brian Kenny with Lennox Lewis and Joe Goosen. Again, Jordan Plant, Larry Hazard with us as well. Josecito Lopez at the age of 36, but rejuvenated. Since 2017, hooking up with trainer Robert Garcia. He's on a tremendous run. Beat a 17-0 Miguel Cruz. Then had a majority decision loss to Keith Thurman, where he had Thurman badly hurt, and then knocked out John Molina in his last fight. We go to the tail of the tape. So Lopez, a fan favorite, and has been getting better and better over the last few years. Been very sharp, 36 years old. Chia Santana is 34. Both about 5'9", reach advantage to Chia Santana. Lopez has looked crisper down the stretch. Both men have fought high level of competition. Chia Santana had a draw in 2011 with Julian Williams, faced up with Jermell Charlo, had a competitive but clear loss to Charlo. But Lopez has fought Canelo, Keith Thurman, and had Thurman all but out. Marcos Maidana at his peak, Jesse Vargas. He's fought high-level fights, and Chia Santana is up against it. Joe Goosen, he's known as a man who gives the top guys trouble. I wonder if he could do that tonight.
Well, yeah, he just gave a real top guy trouble in Jared Hurd. I mean, he lost, most of the rounds.
He gave him trouble?
Well, what I mean, the fact that he didn't go away.
Okay.
He wasn't taken out by Jared Hurd. And of course, in all of his fights, he's only been stopped one time, Santana, and that was quite a while ago.
And here's the Riverside Rocky. Comes in, and a lot of fighters like this, you expect, all right, he's in the phase of his career where he's an attractive name on a resume, but is he actually going to win? But Lopez comes in off what was a very sharp performance. Look, Lennox, he knocked down John Molina 30 seconds into that fight. You were calling that fight. He looked outstanding.
He did. He was sharp, and, it came together that night for him. And, it's good to see him reach where he's reaching. This should be a great fight. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Lopez got the knockout win, beating Molina after 7 rounds. That was September of last year. Lopez and Santana, let's go to Jimmy Lennon.
Well, fans, from AT&T Stadium here in Arlington, Texas, Premier Boxing Champions presents Welterweight in the Ring and About, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Order your parts on O'ReillyAuto.com and get free curbside pickup. Introducing our three judges, scoring from ringside, Javier Alvarez, Don Griffin, and David Yakabuchi. All right, fans, here we go. Welterweight special attraction scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. Introducing you first on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black and orange tiger stripe trunks, from Santa Barbara, fighting out of Ventura, California. He weighed in at the welterweight limit of 147 pounds with a record of 25 wins, 8 losses, and 1 draw. He has 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing Francisco Chia Santana. His opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white, black, and gold trunks, from Riverside, California. He weighed in at 146 1/4 pounds. His record stands at 37 wins, 8 losses, with 20 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the world rank contender known as the Riverside Rocky, introducing Josecito Lopez. And a referee in charge now to give instructions, Neil Young.
Good guys. Okay, gentlemen, we know the rules in the dressing room. Do you have any questions? Remember, protect yourself at all times, okay? Touch them up. Good luck.
Ready to go here, Josecito Lopez, 36 years old. We were talking about Leo Santa Cruz, who looks pretty sharp right there. Former world champion in several divisions, but was the undisputed featherweight champion of the world. And we look forward to seeing Leo back in the ring. Again, comes off that knockout loss to Gervonta Davis in what was an exhilarating performance for Davis. Kind of a star turn for him. But here we're underway. We expect a good scrap here. Chia Santana has been in with some of the best fighters in the world. And Josecito Lopez has as well. And it was inspiring. I watched that Canelo Alvarez fight with Lopez again. And Joe Goosen, he was getting pounded, but he never stopped. I mean, he's not near the same weight class as Canelo fighting that fight. And yet he kept throwing punches.
Well, that's in his nature. Look at most of these guys that make it this far in the business, there's just no quitting. And, Lopez is no exception to that rule.
And he was doing that against Keith Thurman. And, Thurman is a guy, when he fought Danny Garcia, it looked like he was going to take Danny's head off early in that fight.
Yeah,
and yet Josecito had Thurman. We're going to take a look at that in a minute. He had Thurman all but out in that fight. So this is a dangerous man. And as I mentioned, Lennox, since he hooked up with Robert Garcia, he looks like, another world-class fighter. He looked outstanding his last fight.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you change trainers and, they always have something to offer, something to add to your repertoire. So Lopez is definitely using it, and I think it was a good decision by him.
Lopez on balance there. He's always a balanced fighter, has full weight, good leverage on his punches. Santana coming up short with that jab. Lopez able to step in and land it. Good body shots and down. Goes Santana.
And he's hurt bad. Santana has stopped for 12 years, just so you know that, since 2008. If Lopez stops it, that's a big feather in his cap. Something Jerry Hurt couldn't do.
Lopez with body shots. Neil Young makes Santana go side to side, and we're back here. But body shots putting Santana down. And a knockdown in round number 1.
Ooh.
Lopez goes right back to work now. Another uppercut to the body after the jab.
Santana doesn't look like he's all there. He should really, be actually holding Lopez at this point. This is where he needs to grab on and catch.
Santana. Oh, comes back. He hurt him. And Lopez is hurt. Santana threw a hook and wobbled Josecito Lopez.
It was a right hand, not to correct you, but he hit him with both punches. The right hand that hurt him hit him on the temple. And that's one thing about Santana.
These boys
He's
swinging iron right here.
He's hard to knock out. It's been 12 years since he's been stopped. And he will counterpunch you if you get in a slug out with him.
I'll tell you, that was something else. Just when it looked like Santana's on the way out, he lands a shot like that. Remember, he was fighting Abel Ramos Remember, and he dropped him with a hook in the second round, and Ramos was dominating that fight. So Chia is able to fire back when under duress.
Yeah, Santana is really a guy that, when he's hurt, he's dangerous because, he's been through a lot of rough fights and he's taken a lot of shots. He's not an easy guy to knock out. As you can see, he's really tough.
Back to the body goes Lopez, and it looked like Santana was crumbling, but you can't count him out. Final seconds of round number 1. We thought it would be good, and yet it still exceeds expectations. Let's go back to the knockdown the first time around. See the body work here. There's the right hand you're talking about, Joe, and then the body shots as well.
Well, I'm talking about the Santana counter of that knockdown. But you're right. That's the right hand that put Santana down. They hit him right on the temple, right when you're cold. The first round too. You're not warmed up yet.
Look at these body shots. Wow, to both sides.
Yeah.
For Lopez. Then the right hand off the temple.
Yeah.
Santana goes down there, and it looked like it might end early, but then Santana comes back.
Yeah. Santana comes back with a great left hook and right hand. And the left again catches Lopez on the top of the head. Now he's got a hold because he's hurt there.
You're right, Brian. It was 2 good left hooks and a right hand.
Yeah, we both can be right.
We can split that down.
All right. I'll be nice to you next time when you're in the corner. Remember that. When you're up there with me, you're on your own.
I was so wrong on that call right
There you go. There you go. Now we're in business. All right, round number 2. And this expected to be one of the better fights of the night, and it's already been great. Both men have been hurt. Santana went down. Josecito Lopez looks as sharp as ever, and he is back on point, firing out hard jabs.
Yeah, they both got hit, early in the, in the first round, which is early in the fight. And, you do get accustomed to getting hit. Is that right, Lennox?
Yeah.
During the course of the fight?
Absolutely. I mean, when you get hit with the first punch, and you get hurt or hurt by it, that's like a warm-up thing for me.
Yeah.
Okay, I've warmed up. I've taken his first punch.
Right.
Now I can take more punches better.
Right.
Warm-up shot on Lennox, I don't know, man.
Yeah, right, it's true.
Sure, okay. Like I got Rockman was a warm-up
Okay.
warm-up
You
shot.
know what? You want to hear?
Yeah.
It was a wake-up shot.
All right, wake-up shot.
Wake-up shot for both of them.
There you go. I'm glad you got out here, Joe.
Right?
I rarely say that. Lopez with body shots again, but a nice counter by Santana. He's a dangerous man at all times.
Yeah, because Lopez, when Lopez goes to the body like that, he's got to be concerned because Santana is coming back with a hook. Doesn't matter if he gets hurt with a body shot. Even if he gets hurt with a body shot, he's coming back with a hook.
That's right. When you punch wide like that to the body, you are vulnerable for a split second before you get your hands back, either back to the top or finish your combination on top. And that's what Santana's programmed to do. You touch it to the body, he's going to rip off a quick counter.
I'll tell you what, too, fellas, Lopez at the age of 36, what energy, right? I mean, in this weight class, to have that type of energy, it's really a testament to his training.
Yeah, well, look, they're both in the mid, 30s right now. Santana's 34. I mean, they're both up there. I think fighters are staying in better shape. They're fighting longer than they used to, I think, 20, 30 years ago. You didn't see a lot of guys at these weights fighting at 35, 36 years old. Lennox, what do you think about that?
Well, you know what it is? It's better gloves, better refereeing, better rules, and it's an improvement in boxing. That's what we want. Always to make this sport a growing sport.
Well, also to be able to train at the level they've been able to train at during the shutdown and the pandemic, that's also not easy. Lopez was saying that there are times where he comes home, he's been working during the day, comes back, and he's got to train at night or train, whatever it takes. It's not easy.
No, it is not. And I got to tell you, being in the bubble like these guys have been for the past week, I just, this is my second time around in the bubble, and
and this Santana with that left hook again. That's gonna be down the line. We're gonna see more of that left hook.
Well, let's go back again, and I want to keep in mind that this is the same Keith Thurman that was chasing Danny Garcia around the ring and had him all but out. And here in the 7th round, after he'd been dropped in the 2nd round, he's got Keith Thurman wobbled and barely staying on his feet. Like, when have you seen Keith Thurman hurt like that? Even in the Pacquiao fight, he got dropped, but, I mean, this is Josecito Lopez, and he got a close decision loss in this fight. And he almost had him out.
Anybody that knows Josecito Lopez from California, because a lot of these guys make the rotation sparring. They know he's very heavy-handed with that left hook, especially with the liver. He's got a great liver shot.
He ain't playing no game. That's what we talking about. We want to see a slugfest. They slinging leather. Josecito Lopez throwing them
Being up
things.
there for a week without getting outside and running, it really gets stale. You get real stale.
Oh, I believe you because when I was training, I had to go. I had to do sprints the day of the fight just to open up my chest a little bit.
Yeah. And look, I know people have gotten used to this in their own lives. They're thinking, well, these are professional fighters, and they get to a resort or they get to a nice hotel, they can do what they want. No. You get your COVID test, you get into your room, you stay there. A lot of these fighters, they're working the mitts in their hotel room.
That's exactly what we did for the past week. Trust me.
Man. Yeah. Round 3, Josecito Lopez in the white trunks, Francisco Chia Santana in the black and orange.
But it's amazing that these guys are fighting at the level they are in spite of that, right?
And no question. I mean, everybody making weight and everybody is sharp and crisp in this fight. We've seen high-level competition.
Yep.
And right, it's not easy. A lot of these guys have jobs. They're working. Not everybody is Errol Spence at the top of the food chain. And these guys have had their lives disrupted. Difficult to get into the gym. Difficult to get good sparring. But we've seen great fights here already tonight, and now we're in the midst of another one.
And that's why they work so hard and train so hard and sacrifice so much, because they aspire to get to that level that Errol Spence and Danny Garcia, and Sean Porter, and all the rest of those guys are at right now.
I give credit to Chia Santana, too. But, again, you're seemingly outgunned. You've already been dropped. And yet he is doing exactly what he was doing from the start of the fight, trying to stay in and trying to counter with meaningful shots. Good hard right hand by Lopez.
Oh, he's going down.
Good combination again by
Oh,
Lopez.
someone's going down.
Lopez is heavy-handed.
Yeah, Lopez needs someone after throwing that right hand has to be worried about that left hook coming back from Santana.
I'm wondering if Santana is going to be able to time another well-placed right hand or left hook counter when Josecito is, really exploding with those combinations like that. Because he is pretty good at that. I want to see what happens if Josecito absorbs it and takes it, if that happens again.
Hard snapping jab, snaps the head back on Santana. And even though he beat an older version of John Molina, and I know he's not clearly, like you had him at his peak, Joe, he was not at his peak September of last year. I thought Lopez looked terrific in beating down Molina.
Well, exactly. Look, what was expected of him, he did. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do if a guy's at the end of his rope, end of his career, and Josecito delivered the win like he was supposed to.
Lopez threw a great uppercut, and that's what you want to do because Santana's got his hands high and he's got a good defense going on, but he is open in the middle for those uppercuts.
And Lopez in that fight against Molina has got 3 knockdowns, had a fast, hard right hand all throughout the fight. And again, this is the same guy I mentioned. This is hard to do. Keith Thurman was ruling the welterweight division for a long time before he was derailed by injuries. And Lopez had him rocked and almost out. Now, we were talking Keith Thurman, and I understand Keith Thurman just tweeted something out. My Spence Garcia prediction, Garcia is the biggest puncher I've ever faced. But if Spence has that man-down philosophy, he's going to get you out of there. I think it comes down to who lands the biggest punch first, how Spence looks after the accident. All right, Keith. Good to hear from you. And there's Danny Garcia getting taped up. By the way, I'd love to see Keith Thurman back in this round robin, fellas.
Yeah. Oh, he'll be back. We can guarantee that.
Keith, we miss you.
Right?
And when the top guys face each other, as we've said all night, special things happen. Thurman Porter, Spence Porter, Garcia Porter, Thurman Garcia, Pacquiao Thurman. Like, it's all good. Let's go back to the last round. Look at that right hand right off the top of Santana's head.
Easy Lopez.
Get up out of there.
Good right hand. And Santana stumbled a little bit. He's seen the double step.
Yeah, in the third round, Lopez